Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the garage. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the support and all the new subscribers and views on the channel, and I'm super happy. I was definitely not expecting all the support, and I think we're at like 80 subscribers right now after one video, which in the YouTube terms are maybe not much, but I think it's amazing after one video. I just wanted to hop on and make a new video as soon as possible to keep you guys updated, because it has happened a lot since the last video. The engine is in the car. So I had a goal in mind. A couple of days ago I was here by myself, but I am really stubborn and I was here and I have some time over before I had to go home, and I was thinking, like, if I don't do today, that has to be the first thing I do when I come next time. And you know, then I will be home thinking about it, like, okay, next time I go there it's a big work, I have to put the engine in and all that. Took the bull by its horn and made it happen. So the engine is in. I've also installed the trans. I did not film that, but the trans is installed, so the car has been up on the lift, and put the trans on, and the trans mount and everything. The trans mount is also custom, made by me. Actually, it was made for the DCT and the SR20, the old setup. I used the cross member and made the mount on the 8 HP to fit the cross member for the DCT. So today I have been tinkering, I would say. I've made a lot of small stuff and made a list to order, and you know, when you just have to have one of those days when you don't, it doesn't happen so much, but you take really big steps forward. That has been today. I started out today with the cooling loop, or the heating loop for the car. This one here. I had to modify it, I had to cut it and cut it to one more place to get it to snake around the transmission and behind the head and under the water neck, because there's not so much room. If you can see, I don't know if I can maybe get it in focus, you see there is very little room behind the head, maybe a few millimeters. So I made that, welded up and got around to the other side, where I got two 135-degree bends, hoses that work perfectly. One up there and one down there to the pipe on the other side. So it's not tightened up with the fittings and stuff like that, but the loop is done. I'm very happy. I have also planned out the routing for the radiator hoses, so I'm gonna use this one. I'm just gonna twist it so this gets over here, more in the outside, because the intake comes here and it's close to this one, so I have to go under it over here. Maybe this will not fit, but maybe I can just twist it, and then the plan is to make it out of aluminum pipe to go around here and up to there. So the reason I want to do in aluminum is, one, it's light. Two, you cannot rub a hole in it as easy as you can do in the hose. And I can mount it good. I can weld a plate to it and fasten it somewhere. The other one down there, down yonder, I don't know, there, over there. It's going to be closer in, because I have not cut the silicone hose yet. I'm going to put it closer in, like under the radiator. And then aluminum pipe from that corner up here, it's going to that one. This is in the wrong orientation, so I have ordered like a swivel fitting for this one, so I can put it in every direction, or any direction I like, and then I will make the aluminum pipe. When all that is done, I think the cooling loop is complete. Trying to do it system by system. So first I wanted to do the cooling loop, because otherwise when it's done I will try to start it without cooling, because you know how it is. And then I want to do the fueling, so that's next. And then I want to do like intercooling piping and exhaust. The fueling is going to be push lock AN hose. So it's rubber hose because I'm not sure of this configuration yet. I have not shown you actually. Here is the intake manifold that we're going to run now for this. But I have also made this one. It's not finished because I want to do this plenum part in carbon fiber, but it's ITB setup with a drive-by-wire motor and a 3D printed flange or adapter. This was supposed to be on there now, but as we are doing the drag and drive, I am a little bit afraid to overcomplicate stuff. We don't need the ITBs to do drag racing. So I didn't want to make like my custom thing, you know how much trouble it can be with the custom things. So I wanted this to be more easy, hence that one. But I plan to use it in the future. The exhaust. I was planning on going down. We can go under, I can show you. Welcome to the floor. There is the turbo. I have made a 90 bend with a flex pipe on it down here that ends down here somewhere. And then the plan was to go over here and in this gap here over to the other side, and then from the other side go in the stock, on the stock side, because there is more room on that side, because that's where Nissan wanted the exhaust to be. And we also have all the fuel lines and brake lines on this side, so I want to keep the heat over there. As you can see, I have no drive shaft in, and this is the transmission mount I talked about earlier. And this is the 8 HP with the Works adapter kit, also a Swedish brand, a really good guy. I plan on going down, and then maybe I should have put the car higher up. But I plan on going down here, and then out under here, because if I go through the wheel well, then it will hit the tire when I turn. The plan was to go out with like a bullhorn, like this, maybe a little bit longer bullhorn, more like this maybe. If you can guesstimate the height here, when the car is on the ground, there is not much room underneath here. Now it's a little bit higher than it used to be, because I'm going drag racing, so it's going to be even higher than it's now. And then there was like 4 centimeters, maybe 1.5 inch of ground clearance, and it's just behind the tire, so if you go over a bump, this will be hit the first. So it was not so good. You all that are watching this are Honda boys at heart, I know it, that's why you are here. I am not, but I'm trying to learn. And you know, if you are a true Honda boy, then you have to have a hood stack. So, ladies and gentlemen, who am I trying to fool? There are no ladies watching this. So, gentlemen, start your engine. The exhaust pipe will exit the hood, like right here. If I have the exhaust exiting the hood, I cannot have the wastegate go to the ground. It has to follow with it. So, I turn this around and point it to sky. This tube is just what was there to go under and down before. Chop this off here, it's only tacked, and then straight up. So when that's done, this is welded, and put the flash for this little guy right here. Here is the other guy she tells you not to worry about. But this hole for the sensor. Then I planned the charge piping. So it's going to be like a 45 and then another 45, because I think it would look dumb with the 90, because if I have just one 90, it would be like a straight pipe and a 90, and I think that's ugly. So it would be 145, 2 45s. On this side there will be like an S-bend down to the intercooler, which is mounted behind, not in the like normal position down here. I flipped it upside down and welded like 90 degrees bends on here and hid it behind. So it's also sealed against the radiator, so when the fan is on, it sucks air through the intercooler. And this is a really good setup because the intercooler is always really cold. I know I will put some extra heat into the radiator because of this. Maybe now when we're going up in power it will be less okay, but there's still a bit here that it can take fresh air. And I also made duct or something, so there is no air that can escape here. When the air gets sucked through the radiator, the air cannot go down and up and through the radiator again. Because I have like it's splitter, it's not splitter, it doesn't go out, but it's like floor. Here is the hood. Maybe you have not noticed, but it's called the Coca-Cola car. Here is the flooring. I have made this myself in aluminum. Not easy, because the bender was not big enough to take this piece, and it's like multiple little bends going to nothing. And yeah, this was not an easy piece to make. The wheels that are on right now will not be on for the Dragon Drive. I am thinking about buying new rims in the front and making them smaller or thinner, I don't know, not as wide, and putting like motorcycle tires on them. It's not easy to get like a real front runner here in Sweden. It's super expensive. I have the Mickey Thompson Street R 275 4017, I believe. If you look in the US, they are maybe $300, $400 each. In Sweden, it was like $700-800 each because of the shipping and the taxes, and you know the deal. I am super blown out. Why am I so blown out? I am white as a ghost. Feels like something is strange with my camera, and I don't really know what. Anyway, tires are super expensive. I want to say I think it's really cool that there are so many different nationalities watching. I saw Australia, I saw like a bunch of Europe cities in the US and a neighbor country Finland, and I think it's amazing. So please write like hello from Austria or wherever you are from in the comments, and we can see where everybody's from, because I think it's so amazing that there are people around the entire globe and everybody is like dedicated to this type of stupidity. I remember one comment was asking about the horsepower numbers. I'm not sure. I have injectors for maybe 800 horsepower on E85, fuel pump for maybe 1400 horsepower on E85. But the turbo is like, it's not a Garrett, but it's like a copy of a Garrett G30 660. And the Garrett one is then rated to 660 horsepower. This is the Chinese one, so we will see. I will try to get as much power out of it as I can without being excessive. We're not gonna go for those extra 10 horsepowers if it means that we're putting a lot of heat into the system unnecessarily, because that's not very fast if you haven't driven the car yet. You have to. There is a lot of tuning to have to be done to the chassis and all that stuff. So the horsepower is a little bit secondary right now. But I hope for at least 500 wheel horsepower. If we cannot crack 500 wheel, then we are in a bit of a trouble in the class we're racing. If you have stayed this long listening to this Swede talking about his Honda, you have to like the video. It's mandatory. You cannot skip it, because if you have been sitting here listening and watching for this long, you owe me that. Hope you liked the video, and I will come back with an update as soon as I have one. Goodbye.